Haven's a slave who's imprisoned by Vetch. He's been having these weird dreams about this golden voice, which is a big bell basically. That bell was put there by the king of the race so they could ring it in times of need, and he'd come back and rescue them. Vetch has the bad guy has basically surrounded the bell because he can't break it. He's surrounded the bell with this big fortress. He's having dreams about it, goes to see the wise man on Hero Island, and Hero Island is basically where the good slaves, or the stronger slaves, come to pass the test, and if they pass the test they become Vetch's guards and not just slaves. So he's actually come, and the wise man's just basically running him through it, but the wise man's going to eventually let him go. So it's just really a series of challenges that Haven needs to pass in order to get out of here. So the idea is just to get some hero stones. The island itself is just like a central hub, really. There's 4 main characters: Haven, Talon, who's a bird that I'll show you in a bit. It's like his mechanical bird that he built. Chess, who's the female, who's, the story's like, is it a love interest? Is she a friend? Is she a foe? Blah blah blah. And then there's Vetch, who's like the evil guy. And then there's probably like 20 to 30 other characters that are portrayed in the cutscenes. The game flow is just a straight from point A through to point Z, but we're just trying to work on a way that you're led through it so that you'll play it and you'll go the way you need to go without sort of getting lost in the wilderness. Vetch infected all of his slaves with a virus so they can't escape. They're permanently dying and he pays them in antidote. So when Haven left, he's obviously dying. So there's like all the little globules you see, like the generic sort of abundant collectible, that's antidote. You hardly ever even notice that you're going to run out, but if you don't pick it up, you will run out. It'll obviously kill you. Shield power is another thing you need to sort of look after, and again, you pick that up from pots. All the slaves have got these like mining lasers, and he's tinkered with his, and he's basically got this large platinum ball that he can use as a weapon.
Primarily, it was a game I wanted to make. The last 5 years I've been thinking, got to get more genres in there. Jack and Daxter again touched on it. They had the little fly thing and Banjo-Kazooie and things like that, and Crash really. Crash had lots of different vehicles. You look at a Crash game, many of them not necessarily ours, take the third one, and you break it down, and there's probably 10 what you'd call Crash levels in there, and 20 or 25 completely non-related levels. People play it and enjoy it because it's varied. So what we wanted to try is tie that into a game with no boundaries, no loading screens, and get them playing stuff without necessarily realising they're doing something different. There's the one you start on, there's your home planet, which you get to later. There's the desert planet, the refinery planet, there's the bad guy's base, which is kind of a bit Death Star-y, which orbits an ice giant. So there's 6, but you can't go to the ice giant in this game. As it's the first game really with this scope and the first game with this variety of gameplay, we want to really lead people through it. So keeping it quite narrow, linear. It's very easy for us to just say, hey, look, go and collect the 10 coins from the 10 highest peaks on this plane. We can do that. It's just that would be a mistake because people would get bored. You'd get the enthusiast to go and do that. As you play the game, it starts off as a platform game. Then you find yourself on a train, on sheet stuff. Then you find yourself in a boat, and it gradually, and a glider, and then a plane, and then a escape pod, and then a spaceship. So you're introducing them to a bit more freedom each time. And what I also wanted in the game was for you to play it and think, wow, I can get to another island. Wow, I'm in space. Like Zelda, when you find out, wow, I go back in time or forward in time and mess up. It's a whole other level. And there's been a couple of games where you suddenly think, whoa, and you kind of reevaluate how big is this game.